Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Chief Rick Lasky. We'll give a few more folks a chance to join us here. It's Throwback Thursday time, and while everybody else is posting pictures of uh, days of old and all that, I guess we'd like to take a little history jaunt here on our Throwback Thursday day here and talk about the original Halligan tool. I didn't call it a bar for a reason. There's a big dispute. Depends on who you talk to, where they want to call it a Halligan tool or Halligan bar. So we'll just call it for a tool for today. But let's talk about this incredible tool. The Halligan tool and Chief Hugh Halligan, when we get into our history here, the tool was introduced in 1948. The Halligan tool, soon after that, found its way into firehouses all across North America. When you look at our tools, you look at our equipment, how far we've come, whether it's thermal imagers, whether it's SCBA, the evolution of SCBA, how far we've come, our protective clothing. There's a lot of incredible stuff we're using today to do our jobs, both on the fire ground and in emergency incidents as a whole. But one tool that's really never gone away from its origin is the Halligan tool. There's a lot of different variations nowadays. It's one of the most popular tools still used today, and for one big reason, it works and it's extremely versatile. Now it's been updated, tweaked, reconstructed, but it still has the three major components that it's always had, and that's the fork end. All right, our fork end, the pick, as some call it, the horn, and the adze end. All right, the adze end on that tool. If you notice, I like wrapping them. I like wrapping my tool with the cord so I can have a good grip. So when you're holding it, you don't lose it. Gloves get wet and everything else and so like that. So it still really looks like it's the original tool that all the other folks have come up with variations over the years. Now, before I go any further, I wanted to thank my good friend and brother, FDNY Lieutenant, excuse me, and Fire Engineering contributing editor, Mike Champo. Mike's, like I said, FDNY Lieutenant and has been with Fire Engineering forever. He did some great research on Chief Halligan several years ago in an article he did there. So it's another good thing to look up. But Hugh A. Halligan, a little bit of history about the Chief. Hugh A. Halligan was a firefighter with the FDNY. He served for 43 years. That's like two careers to some people nowadays. From 1916 to 1959, he rose through the ranks from firefighter to first deputy commissioner. Chief Halligan was at the time deeply concerned about creating a lighter and safer tool for firefighters. At that time, firefighters were using a claw tool to force open doors and had been using that tool since about 1920. But it was heavy and the striking surface was off-centered, resulting in numerous injuries. Like I said, it was pretty heavy. The Kelly tool was designed by Captain John Kelly, of course, of ladder 163, was also used in the FDNY, but it was welded, was heavy, and didn't do the job that they were looking to do in the FDNY. This is where Chief Halligan came in. Okay, he came up with a tool that had three workable ends. Like we said, the adze end, the pick, and the fork. Okay, those three ends, all of which could be driven by a flathead axe. Some people use a short sledge or whatever, or nowadays a maul. A tool that could be held in one hand, wouldn't chip or break at a critical moment and not fatigue a firefighter, resulting in a tool that was safe and extremely efficient. The Halligan tool was made of cross-drop forged from one piece of number 4140 high carbon content steel, weighed 8.5 pounds, again comprising of that adze, pick, and fork end. All right, those ends. The tool is approximately 30 inches in length, with a 15/16 inch shaft shaped into a hexagon for a grip, so you could grip it. The fork was a minimum of 6 inches long, tapered into two prongs, if you will, bevel tines, whatever you want to call them, and the space between the prongs allowed for a gas valve to be shut off as well. There's I think the last count, I think there's 257 known uses for the Halligan, so I'm sure there's more than that. The adze had a gentle curve for additional leverage and had a beveled end at the end of it. Now, history has it. This is pretty cool. You talk about a guy that loved the job and had passion. Chief Halligan started a mill and began producing the tools himself. He is a religious man. All right, he's a religious man, and on the fork of each Halligan tool, this is something that you need to look for. Let me turn it the right way so you can see it. In your firehouse and some of your older firehouses, on the fork end, all right, on the inside of the fork, his name is embossed. His name is in the signature. You can see his signature. I don't know if you can make that out all there. All right, his name was there in script. On the one prong, and on the other prong you'll see an AM with a little TDG. The initials in Latin stood for the greater glory of God. The small t, that small t, all right, the small t in the center was supposed to symbolize a cross. All right, Hugh was a devoted firefighter who often, do this, I don't drop it here, who often traveled to other departments on his own time and to deliver the tool and to show them how it worked, to show it how it was used. Now, coincidentally, the city of Boston, our good brothers and sisters of Boston, was the first to purchase and place a tool in its apparatus. And in 1950, Boston firefighters presented Chief Halligan with a certificate of merit stating for his vision and ingenuity in developing an all-purpose tool, the Halligan tool, which renders the maximum in utility, efficiency, and speed, and to fire service operations involving forcible entry, emergency demolition, and overhauling. So pretty cool, being recognized by Boston then. Now, unfortunately, at the time, because of a conflict with New York City laws, the FDNY, its members, and its the department itself couldn't purchase the tool until the legal issues had been resolved. So while those issues were being worked out, numerous fire companies, firefighters, went directly to Chief Halligan's home and bought their own tools to place in their apparatus using their own money. And at the time, the tool cost about $38, about $38. Now, the value of the original Halligan tool can't be understated. It was a clear improvement over the tools used before it. Was superior when it had to be used for cutting, lifting, twisting, prying, and wedging. Now, although the tool may have been retrofitted, like we showed you, a little bit earlier, on the newer ones, depending on where you get, there's great ones through all different manufacturers, but this one in particular, the fork end is a little bit wider and let me see if I can show you both of them to give you an idea, a little bit of difference. So one of the improvements was the fork end was a little bit longer, a little bit wider, and a little bit flatter, so you get a little bit more of an end curve to it on the beveled end here with that, so you could use that a little bit more. The adze end, okay, is a little bit of a curve to it. You still have that beveled end. The horn, the pick is pretty much still the same thing after all these years. But again, even with all the changes, those three workable ends have never really changed. No matter who you buy, what tool, there's a lot of great manufacturers, like I said before, out there. In addition, it's helped countless numbers of firefighters do battle on the fire ground and emergency scene every day. Now, if you know me, I'm a big history buff. I'm up in my office, my museum right now, and I'm a big believer in preserving our fire service, its history. And one of the things that happens, I have two of these bars. I have two of these Hugh Halligan bars, Hugh Halligan tools. Now, the first tool, this one was given to me as a gift by my very good friend, Lieutenant Chris Delizio with the FDNY. Chris is another incredible member of the fire service, and just honored me with this, giving me this tool. The other one I have, I actually got because the department was throwing it out, and they had a pile of old tools on their apparatus floor, and they explained they're doing this and clearing out. I walked over and I said, it had a little rust on it on one end. I said, this is a Halligan tool. They go, yeah, I know, but we've got new ones. I go, but this is an original Halligan, the original Hugh Halligan tool. And they're like, yeah, but we've got some new ones. I go, but you're throwing away history. This is the original tool. This is the original Halligan tool. And they go, yeah, but and I'm like, look, if you're going to throw it out, I'll take it, but this needs to be hanging on a wall in your firehouse. So as it turned out, they didn't want it. So my second Halligan tool, original Hugh Halligan tool, was given to me by a department that was throwing it out. So I think we got to get better at preserving our history, whether it's our tools, apparatus, journals, whatever it is, preserving that kind of stuff so the future generations of the fire service will have an opportunity to see that. So that's our Throwback Thursday. Just want to go into the original Halligan tool. God bless you, Chief Hugh Halligan, for giving us an instrument that's literally saved firefighters' lives. Have a blessed day, have a great day, and be safe out there.